Great. So welcome everybody to our first episode of GeoSeries for 2022. My name is Sky Bogue and I'm the Marketing Manager at European Space Imaging, and it's my absolute pleasure to moderate today's session highlighting on-demand satellite imagery access with Maxar SecureWatch. Before we dive in and I introduce our speakers for today, I would like to cover some housekeeping rules just to ensure that the event runs smoothly. You will have joined this webinar from the social lounge. After the session ends, you will automatically be placed back in the social lounge for further networking opportunities. The speakers, as well as my colleagues from European Space Imaging and Maxar Technologies, will join you there to answer any final questions that you may have. You will notice on the right-hand side of the screen that you have two stacked navigation toolbars. The first icon of the toolbar is the People toolbar. This is where you can see your fellow attendees, and if you hover over their display image, you will gain further information on the people and also be able to message them privately. Next, we have messages. This is where your private messages live. Lastly, we have alerts. During the event, you may get an alert from the organizers with some interesting information based on what's being discussed. Directly below this toolbar is a secondary navigation panel. These are chat, question and answers, and polls. As you may have guessed, chat is where you can chat with your fellow delegates, but this is a public area, so only general comments should go in here and not questions. In the questions and answers section is where you should place your questions. These will be answered in the comments section of each question, and you can upvote any questions that you find interesting. We will also answer some of these live throughout the webinar. And of course, a recording of today's session will be sent to each of you within a week of the end of the webinar. Okay, so now I'll introduce our speakers. It is my pleasure to be joined today by Deputy Sales Director Anu Duron of European Space Imaging and Senior Manager Product Management Peter Kern from Maxar Technologies. Together, they will be demonstrating the benefits of SecureWatch and provide you with up-to-date information on the platform. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Anu to get the session going.
Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to have you here today. I will start by a quick presentation of the platform. Then Peter will present an update on the new features coming on in SecureWatch and the future of the platform. And then we will do a live demonstration. So what is SecureWatch? SecureWatch is a global platform providing access to Maxar imagery. Basically, all the Maxar catalog, you can access it through SecureWatch. This contains more than 21 years of archive imagery, which is updated every day. So the content is growing every day by more than 3 million square kilometers, and everything is accessible through SecureWatch. This is a global access, which means there are no area restriction. You can look everywhere, and you can provide the platform to an unlimited number of users within your organization. It's a subscription model, so you subscribe to a contract, which is a one-year contract, and it's a flexible model, which is tailored to fit your needs. So whether you have small needs or large needs, the pricing model is flexible enough to cover all the use cases. Let's have a look to what's inside, what SecureWatch is offering to you as a user. As I mentioned, you can access imagery over any area of the globe. You can visualize this imagery at full resolution and download it under all formats that you are used to handle when you place orders, direct orders with European Space Imaging. So for those who are familiar with the format, you can download OR2A, the ortho-ready, ortho imagery, 4 bands, 8 bands, ACOMP. So it's very convenient for archive ordering, but the value is also in streaming. So directly from your web browser, you can visualize image and choose the image you want to visualize at full resolution. SecureWatch contains not only imagery strips, but also multiple products like mosaics, and Peter will talk about that right after me. SecureWatch contains also shortwave infrared imagery acquired by Worldview 3, stereo imagery that you can download if you want to produce a digital surface model, and also third-party content like vector maps, Sentinel imagery, and so on. Everything is accessible through your web browser, but also through OGC streams. It means that you can stream SecureWatch content in your own GIS infrastructure using WMS, for example. And it works the other way around. You can also ingest WMS stream in SecureWatch from the browser interface. So if you don't have a GIS infrastructure, for example, or remote sensing software, you can do a lot of things only with SecureWatch from your web browser. It's a very comprehensive platform. Multiple users can access the platform at the same time. We call it concurrent access. Therefore, with one account, you can provide the service to multiple collaborators. There are two levels of product. The first one is SecureWatch Premium, which gives you access to all Maxar's satellite imagery. And it's organized under a set of layers, and we'll go through them during the live demo. And the first one is what we call the daily take, which contains created imagery, directly accessible, maximum 48 hours after the acquisition. There is another layer that is called First Look. On this one, there is no holdback. As soon as images are acquired over events of importance, like natural disaster or technological disaster, images are immediately available through SecureWatch without any holdback. Mosaics, like the new set of Vivid Basic, Vivid Standard, Vivid Advanced, and Vivid Premium. All the 20 years of archive imagery, with the new content added every day, shortwave infrared and stereo, and third-party content like Sentinel. If you don't need all that, but just a subset of the catalog, there is SecureWatch Standard. It's a subset at a lower price point, which means you have access to a layer that is called Standard. So imagery is curated, so which means only cloudless imagery and under a specific off-nadir angle is ingested in the platform, and this is ingested 90 days after acquisition. On top of this, you have access to Vivid Basic. So it's a smaller set that is dedicated for different use. The pricing model is flexible. There are two pricing models. The first one is the gigabyte consumption-based model. This model works exactly like the data plan of your mobile phone subscription. You purchase a quota of gigabyte that is available during the duration of your contract, and when you use the service, the quota is consumed. It's very simple. With one account, concurrent accesses are allowed, so multiple users can log in at the same time and they can use the service, and the quota is consumed when they use the service. The quota is central and shared between the users. The first offer begins at 2 gigabytes for 1 year, and there are different tiers to cover very large usage. It is also possible to add more gigabyte during the duration of the contract if the initial purchase was not enough. The second model is called the streaming seat-based model. And with this model, no download is allowed. It's streaming only, but the usage is not metered. So it means you are purchasing a seat, that gives you access to SecureWatch, and you can use your browser or WMS stream to visualize the image, but you cannot download. The limit of the streaming is limited at 0.3 gigabyte per seat and per day. That's the only limitation, and this is normally enough for any professional use of the platform. So if you have such a subscription and you are consuming more, then we're always open to discuss how and to understand how you are using the platform and why you need more. But normally that should be enough for any kind of usage. No concurrent access is possible because it's a seat, so only one person can use the service at the same time. So that's two models for different usage. There is some content also that is never metered in SecureWatch that you can always use. It's the streaming from Zoom level 0 to Zoom level 12, and we will explain later how Zoom level works. So basically, you can use a vector set. There is the Vivid Basic, which is a mosaic in Explore mode that you can use and which is never metered. And also third-party content like Sentinel layers are not metered. Two different models. We have also customers who are combining both and using the gigabyte consumption model mainly for their download. And when they need to stream, they have another account and they are using their streaming seat. At European Space Imaging, we are here to help you with this product. We can help you first if you're not familiar with the tool. We can provide you documentation. We can do a demo for you. We can provide you a demo account so you can test the product by yourself within your organization. If you are a reseller, we can provide you with an account for your meetings. If you are used to present the platform, if you want to present the platform to customers, we can provide you with a specific account for this usage. We can do trainings via screen sharing or physical presence. We are used to do that. Never hesitate to ask us a training. We can help you also with the pricing and the quotation by helping you estimating the quota you need. We very often have this question: how many gigabytes do I need? So usually what we do is that we have a discussion about your usage, how many people intend to use the platform, how many areas do they need to look at, and what size and what zoom level, and we provide you with estimation on the gigabyte usage. We can also provide technical support if you are facing any issue, any technical issue. We have customer support team. Everyone knows how to use the tool, and we are very happy to help you. I will now leave the floor to Peter. He will give you more information on the new content and on the future of the platform. Peter, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Let me share my screen here. And so I would like to talk a little bit about current SecureWatch, and then after that about the future. So we have released a set of new Vivid products, and soon you will be able to get access to our new satellites, Worldview Legion, and then again more heads up about the future of the platform. So first, I would like to talk a little bit more about the current content. So if you have a demo account currently already, you have Vivid Standard in there. It covers most of the landmass. It's a 50 centimeter GSD product, 5 meter C90. It's really wonderful. It comes with all the metadata, with acquisition dates and so forth. And it's great for mapping, for backdrops. Wonderful. We also have Vivid Advanced. You may or may not be familiar with a product that we had before. It was called Metro. Metro was covering about 6,000 cities where a lot of change occurs every day or every year. And so during the year, you saw multiple updates of Metro. So Vivid Advanced is pretty much the successor of that. It's a 30 centimeter product. I will demo it quickly after the presentation. And it's available in SecureWatch now over many of the big cities around the globe. And furthermore, what you see here is, again, it's a replacement for Metro. For those who had purchased this product before or licensed this product before, it's still available on the platform, but it's being replaced with new Vivid Advanced. Our latest product that we are introducing just now is Vivid Premium. It's a 15 centimeter GSD product and 2 meter C90. So 15 centimeter is not exactly aerial, but it gives you very detailed insight on what's going on the ground, including lane markers on the street and details on cars and so forth. So it's, and then together with the accuracy, 2 meter C90, it's an unmatched high resolution satellite imagery product. What we offer for customers who are using our Vivid mosaics as a backdrop, there is an inexpensive solution. We call it the Vivid Basic Tile Cache. It's a snapshot that we create once a year. And so it's very easy to stream it as a backdrop for vectors and so forth in a customer application. And it is available right now for those who are already familiar with SecureWatch. So you can access it via API WMTS with the Vivid 2021 identifier. And next week, October 11, it will also be available as Explore mode backdrop in the Vivid or in the browser app, in the SecureWatch browser app. So without upgrading the subscription, customers who have a license to SecureWatch Premium that is, Arno talked about 2 different product levels. So those customers will get access to Worldview Legion imagery in Q1 of 2023. So they don't need to upgrade their subscription. So what this means effectively, if you were to sell a new subscription to a customer of yours in Q4 of 2022, without any configuration changes, they will get access to this Legion imagery early next year. So that's an important addition to our content in SecureWatch. So I want to talk a little bit more into the future. So the platform that we know and use is being upgraded. So there is a new SecureWatch product being in the works, and it will continue to feature all the great content and capabilities that we are using today. And there will be some improvements based on what we heard from customers in the field. So there will be a revised billing model. So in the past, we metered mostly with gigabytes. So you can easily imagine for future products, vector products, the gigabyte model is not working so well. So we add what we call a credit-based model, where you can meter vector products, where you can download in square kilometers, where you can bill in stream in map views. So a lot of building good new capabilities on top of the current good, great platform. It will have a new capability. For now, we call it automated tasking. And it's not to compare with the direct tasking service that you can get from EUSI, but it's a simple point tasking capability where you can get a new collect with maybe about a 3-4 kilometer radius around a coordinate. So basically inside the SecureWatch platform, you can say, I want to have a new collect on coordinate XY, and you can say it will be a 3 kilometer radius that I'm requesting, and the window of the next 2 weeks. If Maxar collects within the next couple of weeks, you can deduct X amount of credits from my account. Otherwise, I let this request expire. So again, it's not the white glove service that you get with direct tasking with EUSI, but it's an automated tasking capability that should be coming in handy. Furthermore, there will be new content such as precision 3D. There will be on-the-fly visualization, streaming, and also download based on a AOI, where you can select what you want to download, and then it goes into your library, and you can use it offline from there for monitoring use case, for whatever telecom, 5G calculations. And then last but not least, this new platform will be featuring more computer vision, object and change detection features that will enhance the capabilities that we have today. So this is an outlook. The EUSI will inform you as this platform becomes available. But please keep in mind that all the capabilities that you have in SecureWatch today will be available going forward. So there will be a smooth transition over time. So there is no reason for for waiting to subscribe new customers to the current SecureWatch, but this is to give you a preview in what is to come in the future. So I stop sharing here and hand it back to Arnaud.
Thank you, Peter. That looks very exciting, this new SecureWatch Platinum. Let's move to the SecureWatch live demonstration now, because it's always better to see live what we are talking about. So I will share my screen, and I will start with a tour of the platform and the interface. I just raise your attention on, you should have a button to move to full screen on the top right corner. Maybe that's going to be easier for you to follow the demonstration if you switch to full screen. Okay, this is the login page. So we start here. You understand the interface because we start from the login page. When you log in, this is what you get. So it's basically very simple to understand. It's a mapping interface. You can move. You have a map. There are some toolbars and menu at the top of the screen. There is the upper menu where you can configure the map, its looks, and its behavior, and access to different kind of services. On the upper right corner, you have links to access the account management, the user documentation, and some information about the layers you are using. On the left, there is a toolbar to get access to more advanced features. Here I can switch the base map to Google Maps if I prefer, or OpenStreetMap. And at the bottom of the screen, at the bottom left, there is information about the zoom level. And that's an important information under the consumption model, gigabyte consumption model. So when I zoom in the platform, you see that zoom level here is updated. And until zoom level 11, I just have either the vector background. I can also show Landsat mosaic if I prefer locating myself with physical features. And when I zoom until zoom level 11, then images from the archive will start to be streamed, and I can move forward and zoom in. At zoom level 13, the carousel is appearing, and it is where I can select the different dates, but Peter will explain you that in detail. And I can zoom until zoom level 11. So here we have a nice view taken last month over the Oktoberfest area. And I am zoom level 18, zoom level 19, and the last zoom level 20. So you can see that the streaming is really fast. Why the zoom level matters? It's because under the consumption model, your usage of the platform is measured starting at zoom level 13. This is where the carousel is shown. Okay. And we had the feedback in the past that people said, yes, but at the zoom level, I'm not really using or benefiting from very high resolution imagery, but my usage is still mattered. So a new feature that appeared, and you may not be aware of, is the Explore mode. it is here at the top right of the screen, Explore mode. So the Explore mode will remove the carousel, will remove all the tool, and display the Vivid basic layer, which is a color balanced mosaic. And the usage is not metered. So then you can zoom and locate your area of interest, and then deactivate when you are ready to work. And the metering will start only when you switch off the Explore mode. So let's see, I am here, I'm exploring the city, and now I need to work, let's say, over the airport. So now I can pan, and I can identify my area of interest. So here we have the airport, and let's say I have to report. I have a report to prepare over this parking area, let's say. Then I can zoom, can locate the parking area, and I can switch off the Explore mode, and the metering starts only there. And then I can look in the past, which planes were parked there, and I'm really, my quota is really consumed when I use the platform for its purpose. I will give back the floor to Peter. Peter will show you how to use the carousel and the filter and the exploit mode and more exciting features.
Thank you very much. So I pretty much pick up where Arno left it, and I do something very similar. I log into my subscription. It's peter.kern@maxar.com, and then the way I have preset it, I see Landsat in the beginning. And in this particular case, I have currently set the content to Vivid Basic. So if I want to explore an area, I choose Odessa, Ukraine. I see a clean, color balanced mosaic if I'm on the Vivid Basic account. If I want to see new collects, what is sometimes called daily take, I switch to the SecureWatch account. And then I see imagery. It's almost like a patchwork. And if I want to understand a little bit more what is going on, I can, for example, select what has been collected in the last 30 days. So if I do that, you see the image footprints with some labels. So you can see there have been images collected on September 28, September 30, here and there. There are even images from October 6, which is brand new. And so if I want to zoom in on a certain area, I see more details. And then I can go into an area and start looking at what has been going on in the last few days and weeks, for example, here. So it seems like this is an area where we have ships. So maybe I zoom in here a little bit more. And I now show you the compare feature. So let's zoom in one more just to see more details here. So the last image that is intersecting this viewport is from September 30. And you see here all the collects that are intersecting this viewport. what I have chosen right now. Here it goes back to August, but it really goes back to the year 2000 or something, you know. So, but what we have online in the cache for the platform is really just visible in the carousel. If you want to go back to, let's say, the year 2000, it would be more like reaching into the archive, but it's available to you also. So let's do a little comparison. So what it always shows the latest over this area. Like Arno pointed out, we can have different base maps. This would be the Google Maps. I chose to stay with OpenStreetMap. And then I can look at different images from different days. And so if I go back here, I'm here September 22nd. And now I do a compare. So I select multiple images that I want to compare. So let's say I want to have something from early September and something from late August. You could have even more, but then you can select compare. So it chooses the checked thumbnails, and then you can see what ships were in the harbor on what day. So there is a lot going on here, and this is typical for the monitoring use case. So customers who monitor an area, they can really dive deep into the archive, again, back 20 years. But usually it's more about the last few weeks. And I think you see how you can do that. If you want to write a report or publish a report, you can even export the movie if it's electronically, so that it's like a time slider movie that you can export. And then if you want to go deeper, let's say you want to look at this area in more detail, you can go into what we call exploit mode. And so here you have a filter that you can choose a catalog. Right now I'm in the online cached catalog, where we have about 4 petabytes of imagery cached for instant access. We have more than 120 petabytes in the archive that you can access, but you have to request it, and you can see a browse image, and then you can say, I want to consume that. So let's choose just something from over this area. Let's first look at metadata. This is a WorldView 3 image stream. A native GSD is 32 centimeters. You see it was acquired on September 29 at the off-nadir angle of 10 degrees. So let's explore this a little bit more. So I go into what I call, or what we call, exploit mode. And at first, the image looks very much the same like what we had before in that browser mode. But here I can do more. I can select bands. So for example, if you want to see, bring out different bands like near infrared, you can select another band, and you see now the trees and grass is appearing as red. It's typically the chlorophyll that comes out with this near infrared. And so in a port like this, this particular band combination might not be the most important, but if you were to go and zoom in more in this area, so it's quite detailed. And again, we have here these bands that we can choose, and then we have what we call enhance and atmospheric compensation. So enhance is further sharpening the image so that you can see more details. So again, it's not exactly aerial, but if you look at these parked cars here and the lanes, you can see a lot in this image. And again, it's also there is atmospheric compensation. So it's really great to explore on the fly with the existing SecureWatch premium subscription. And of course, if you need more detailed analysis, you would, for example, request the download of a multiband. We call it Basic 1B or other. And then you can offline do some more analysis with the bands you choose and apply whatever algorithms that you have to do, sometimes behind your firewall. But it's certainly a great tool to use what we call exploit mode. So I'm leaving exploit mode. I go back out here again. So you have a lot of imagery here in the archive. I go back to online. And so this is what we call the daily take. So every day, hundreds of new high-resolution imagery is being ingested, and you can look at the details here in the browser app, and it's really cool to see. If you want to look at more the base maps, the mosaics that we have for the same area, you can do that by transitioning the account here. So instead of SecureWatch, you choose one of the base maps. So here, if you look at the metadata of the mosaic, you see this is a Vivid Advanced mosaic. So Vivid Advanced is a 30 centimeter product, as you see it up here. And it has been, in this particular case, it has been updated in 2022 in January, and there is a good chance that this mosaic will be updated in 2023 in January. It's on an annual cycle typically, unless a lot of changes are happening, and then it's updated more often. And you have filters here. And so you can, for example, say, in this particular case, I want to see Vivid Standard, not Vivid Advanced. So now you see fewer thumbnails down here in the left. And if I look at the metadata, I see here it's a Vivid Standard, and it's a 50 centimeter product. And so you can do that wherever you want. So you may or may not have bookmarks in your browser app, but this would be, for example, Austin, Texas, that I have in here. So you see the same thing with its standard, updated 2022, July 6. And then if you want to So I'm jumping around a little bit. So let's go to, for example, let's go back to Munich. I have the same thing here. Right now, I still have the vivid standard filter. And if I go and remove that filter, usually the best is to use the reset button and apply this. I have other mosaics here too. So let's see here. That would be a vivid advanced mosaic over Munich that has last been updated on March 28. And again, this 30 centimeter product gives you really nice details if you zoom in. And because of the accuracy, the 5 meter C90 accuracy, it's an excellent product for mapping. So our very large mapping customers, and you can say pretty much all the large enterprises in the US that offer location-based services, and most in Europe, they are using SecureWatch to update their maps. And historically, they have been using a lot of daily take maps or image strips. But what this requires is a lot of material selection, you know, because sometimes there are clouds. And what they find is the longer, the more we have this updated vivid imagery with this high positioning accuracy. It's more frequently updated. It's really a great product for mapping. So the last one that I want to show you here is maybe let me go to Albany, Australia. Here I have a lot of different mosaics. Again, think about or try using filters. So if I just want to see Vivid Premium, I apply that. And then I just see Vivid Premium content. And again, it's really cool. You see here the details, the markers, even in the parking lot, that people that contribute to OpenStreetMap or have other reasons for mapping can use. So it's an excellent product. And so there is much more, but before I hand over to Arno, let me point out something really quick that was referred to earlier, that all the content that you can access via the browser app, you can access either via your off-the-shelf tools with Esri or QGIS, but there is also the direct API access, and it's very well documented. So what you can do is go in our developer guide of SecureWatch, and you can see how we provide tiles, how the service is built up, and you can, like with other REST services on this OGC, WMTS, WMS, WFS, you can get here these get capabilities where we have detailed parameters that you can use for machine-to-machine communication. You can choose whatever projection is available. It's many. You can choose the format that you want to have returned and so forth. And so what I want to say with this is there are a lot of parameters that you can use to do machine-to-machine communication, GIS standard protocols that you can stream directly into your ID editor derivative or in your custom GIS platform. So I stop here and hand it back to Arnaud.
Thank you, Peter. I will continue the live demonstration. So I will share my screen. And you remember we left here on this parking of the Munich airport. I will show you real quick how you can download Imagery. You can download Imagery from 1 square kilometer. So first, of course, you need to draw an AI, which I will do right now. I'll draw a rectangle. Let's say I'm interested in this area. Okay. I go to the date I'm interested in, and I click on Add Full Image to Library. More ordering option. And from here, I have to put an order name. So just okay. You see that here is mentioned deliver to the library, which is the repository where you have images prepared for download. You can choose, so here the end use, I'll select product evaluation, the product type. So you see here, if you're familiar with image ordering, the product type, it's a 4-band image. It's a GOI image, I think. So you can order auto ready or view ready, either bundle or 4-band, natural color, even basic product you can download. So it's very convenient. I will select auto ready 4 bands. You see here clip feature to AI is selected. Yes, clip to AI. So I will be built only for this AI. I can choose 16 bit per pixel, the resampling algorithm, and I click here, add to cart. And cart is a intermediary step before placing the order. And then I can click on submit order. And now the order is in the pipeline for production, and once it will be ready, after, generally speaking, after a few hours, it is ready in the library for download. So the library is available here under My Imagery, Library. And actually, I placed the order earlier today, but once it's ready, it's in the library, and it's not yet built for download. It's only when I will unlock it and activate the download that that I will be built, and I will get a dialog that will show me how much will be consumed against my quota, and I can take my decision then. If I estimate that it's too much, then I do not unlock the download, and I'm not built for it.
Arnaud, if you want to, I could show that really quick in SecureWatch, how to unlock. I have a couple of images in my library.
Okay, so I stop sharing now.
Yeah.
Feel free.
Very good. So let me go and share my screen, and then I give it back to you. Just a second. So I'm sharing now. So in my library here, I have prepared a couple of images. Some are full strip, and then I took a snapshot just last night to in preparation for this demo. So what you see here are the details in this snapshot. So this is a screen snapshot. And then if you want to download it, what you would do is click on this accept, and then you would basically see the billing size. So it's just less than 2 megabytes that would be metered against your contract gigabyte limit. And if you click accept, then it's unlocked, and now I can download either all at once, and you have different options to download it to your computer, to FTP push, or you have other options like push it into your AWS S3 bucket. But that's basically the process of downloading.
Thank you,
I
Peter.
hand back to Arnaud.
So since we are talking about quota, I will show you how you can track your usage. Here in the upper side menu, there is my usage. So you get this window. On the right side here, this is the consumption of the quota for your organization, and there are two bars. One bar is showing the time over the course of your contract. So starting here, my contract starts in July and ends in July. It's a 1-year contract, and I have my organization have consumed 12.7 gigabytes since July. So we can see that we are globally under consuming against the course of the contract. On the left side, the other bar is showing for this particular user, myself, and the particular layer I'm using, so the daily take, the breakdown between the streaming and the download. So far since July, this very user, Arnaud, has consumed 519 megabytes in streaming and 48 megabytes in download. Okay, so this is how you can manage your consumption. Now I'd like to show you some tip to navigate easier between your area of interest, because I think SecureWatch makes sense if you work and you use it over different area of interest, and if you have projects all over the world or all over Europe, makes sense to use SecureWatch. If you have a project that is very focused on an area of interest and you need, for example, archive imagery, then in that case, it's more interesting to place an archive order, a direct order. But usually, if you have SecureWatch, you are monitoring area of interest spread all over the world, and you are monitoring those areas. So you're moving from an area to another. Peter briefly mentioned and used bookmarks. I'll explain it more in detail. Bookmarks are very simple. Actually, what you're bookmarking is the extent of the screen. So I can create here a bookmark for this area. So it's Munich Airport. And then it's added in the list. And when I click on a bookmark, I immediately jump to this area of interest. So it's very convenient. If you have 10 areas of interest, you bookmark them and you don't spend time to pan and zoom each time. Another interesting feature is the alerts. So the alerts, it's to be notified by email when a new image is acquired over the area of interest. So it's very convenient. I'll go through the process with you. You draw a polygon. Put a name. Airport. Here we see that the alert is valid for 1 year. And the system can check for new images every hour, every 4 hours, or every 24 hours. let's say I put an alert every 24 hours. The system will check, and if a new image is acquired, then I will get an email. I can also put several email address if I want also colleagues to be notified. I will receive in the email a quick look of the image. So if it's cloudy, for example, I will not even bother to look at this image into the platform. And I will get the metadata. And I can also put some filter. Okay, I will just snap. I will just start again. I will share my screen again. Okay, we're back. I want to show you also a very interesting feature that's called annotations. And it's very convenient if you don't have a GIS software at hand and you still need to extract information from the images, digitize features, and share with your colleagues. You can use the annotations. Annotations are a set of tools. You can draw on the images. You can prepare reports. You can export the reports from SecureWatch in PDF or in PowerPoint. But you can also export the features in a KML or in shapefile format. So I show you real quick. I'll put symbols over the planes. I can customize the look of the symbols. I can change the color. I can change the size, smaller, for example. Okay. I can save that into the platform. So again, I click support. I can save them. And then I can, from this panel, export the set of features. So we have Munich airport, and you see here that I can export in shapefile, in KML or in KMZ. So it's very convenient if in your organization you don't have workstations dedicated to GIS or to remote sensing processing. Everything can be done from the web browser. Last features that I want to show you, I will just clear the annotations. I mentioned during the first presentation a set of third-party layers. I mentioned that Sentinel imagery is in SecureWatch. So I will show you. It's in layers, and we have a set of layers. Sentinel-1, I can show, for example, the latest Sentinel-1. It's an RGB color composition from the amplitude image. So we have the date. So for each tile, we see that here's from the 4th of October. That's for Sentinel-1. For Sentinel-2, there are more layers because there is the latest natural color image. Okay, I will move to another area. I'll move to some sunny area. Portugal. We have the latest infrared color composition. Okay. And other indices. So for example, shortwave infrared. So here what we can see is a burn scar. So it's very easy to spot that on this color composition. And there are other sets which are cloudless. So for example, we have cloudless NDVI and cloudless natural color. So if the latest images are cloudy, then you can use this one. It's a mosaic. The shortwave infrared here. We can zoom, and then we can use it in combination with the very high resolution images. That's the point of SecureWatch. So for example, I can zoom, and then I can see here, for example, how close the forest fire was from the urban area. Things that would not be possible only with Sentinel. So it's using the complementary data. Okay, so we've shown you a couple of nice features in SecureWatch. There are more, but we have only a limited amount of time. If you're interested to see more, please feel free to contact us. We can do a personalized demo and focused on the features you think are useful for you, or if you want a complete tour of SecureWatch, there are many more interesting features. Never hesitate to send us a message. And I think we are good with the live demonstration. I will give back the floor to Sky.
Great. Thanks so much, Anu and Peter, for providing such great insights into SecureWatch and taking the time to join us today. I would also like to thank all of our attendees for coming. There were some great questions that came in, and they were actually all answered on the chat, so we don't have any further questions to answer live today. Before we go, I just want to let everybody know that European Space Imaging will be exhibiting at Intergeo, which is happening in Essen from the 18th to the 20th of October. We'll be in Hall 2, booth A2.006. So if you're also there, drop by, say hello. We'd love to meet you all and see what you're doing and how we can help you. As I already mentioned, after this webinar, we will send you a recording of the webinar, and inside this recording, we will also include a link to our next webinar, which will be happening on October 27th at 3:30 p.m. And this will delve deeper into Vivid. So you'll have a demo and some product features and really get a feel for how you can use that product. So with that, I would like to close this webinar and remind you that if you want to stay online, our colleagues from European Space Imaging and Maxar can meet you in the social lounge for the next 20 minutes or so and answer any questions that you may have face-to-face. So thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye.
Bye.